Hello everybody, in this video we'll talk about 5 tips for F1 students transitioning to CAP subject H-1B visas. This is an important topic and I want to give you all the tips you need to make sure that transition is smooth and effective as possible. So, what are you waiting for? I'll see you on the other side. Hello everybody and welcome back to our immigration channel. This is a place where you can get the most up-to-date immigration information, immigration updates, and everything else that you need to make your immigration journey less stressful. My name is Jacob Sapochnik and I'm an immigration attorney located in San Diego, California, and I help clients in all 50 states. And in this video, we dedicate this to F1 students, those students that are graduating and are ready to start working with their H-1B visas. A lot of F1 visa holders are able to find a job in the United States and an H-1B visa sponsor, and this video is dedicated to you, giving you the tips and all the information you need to make that transition very smooth. So let's jump right into the video. So based on recent statistics, it's a clear fact that many of the applicants who apply for CAP subject H-1B visas are actually F1 students currently inside the United States. Therefore, it's really important that if you're an F1 visa student watching this video, you have to make sure that you maintain your status at all time as you transition into the H-1B visa status. This video will focus on 5 tips that you need to know as an F1 student moving to the H-1B status. So make sure you watch this video all the way to the end. Every tip is crucial and is super important for you to be successful. So tip number 1, make sure you file your H-1B while you're still in the optional practical training status, also known as OPT. That is super important if you can do that. And the reason is because the CAP gap exception may bridge the gap from the time your OPT ends all the way through the beginning of the fiscal year of the H-1B, which is typically October 1 of the fiscal year. So for example, if your OPT ends on, let's say, July 1st of the fiscal year, but the H-1B will only start in October 1st, the CAP gap exception will bridge the gap from July through October, and you'll be able to continue working as long as your H-1B was filed before July. Typically right now they have been filed, then you can file those H-1Bs after selection, but as long as you filed that before your OPT expired, once you get that receipt, you're able to get what is called a CAP gap that will carry you all the way through to October 1st of that fiscal year. That's why it's super important. And remember, to qualify for this CAP gap exception, you have to obviously be in F1 status, you have to have an H-1B start date of October 1st, and you must be in good standing with your OPT at the time of filing. Tip number 2, make sure not to fall out of status during the unemployment period of your OPT. F1 students can fall out of status if they exceed certain days of unemployment under the OPT status. This unemployment period continues to accrue even during the CAP gap extension if the H-1B was filed while the student was on OPT. For 12-month OPT, the unemployment limit is 90 days. For post-STEM OPT, unemployment limit is 150 days. Also, make sure you comply with all the reporting requirements that you have to provide your designated school official, your DSO, during the OPT period. Super important. That was tip number 2. Tip number 3, if you're on STEM OPT, make sure to complete both of your self-evaluations on time. Your employer also must sign those evaluations, and they must be provided to the school official, the DSO, no later than 10 days following their reporting deadlines. If you fail to do so, it's definitely going to hurt your transition to the H-1B visa. Number 4, be very careful with international travel during this transition period from F1 to H-1B. If you travel during the change of status from F1 to H-1B, this could consider your application for H-1B actually abandoned. It's not just for H-1B purposes, by the way. Any application that is a change of status and you leave during the change of status, whether it's from F1 to a tourist visa, you leave during a pending change of status, your application could be deemed abandoned by USCIS. So be very careful when you travel. We had a case where a student actually left the country during the application during the application to change status from F1 to H-1B, actually during the CAP gap extension, left the country, went to a family emergency. So at that point, the student needed an actual new F1 visa to be able to come back to the United States and it created a whole complication with the transition from an F1 to the H-1B visa. So be very careful when traveling. Number 5, make sure you coordinate with your designated school official, DSO, if you need an updated I-20 to reflect your cap gap extension. Sometimes students are going to need a new I-20 for employment purposes to obtain a driving license. Make sure you coordinate that with your school DSO. Typically, the cap gap extension should be automatically reflected in SEVIS, but it's not always the case. Make sure you check your record, you check your I-20, and if it's not automatically updated, make sure the DSO will update the record to reflect a proper cap gap extension in your record. So as long as you follow these tips, you should have a smooth transition from an F1 to an H-1B and start your journey as a new employee in the United States post your education. So I wish you all the best and good luck with your new jobs. And if you're here for the first time, you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell to never miss any of our videos, and give us a big like so YouTube will be able to share this video with more people just like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.